Hello again, everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we have a beautiful young lady joining us from Southeast Asia. I am so excited. We have with us today Shantini Rajah, and she is a writing and manifesting mentor, energy practitioner, and author of Manifest Anything You Want. She loves helping conscious entrepreneurs find their true voice and manifest a life and business they love. As a trained physicist and engineer, Shantini brings together a unique alchemy of science and spirituality to everything she does. She has successfully worked on million-dollar digital launches, and her clients are some of the biggest names in personal growth and healing, such as best-selling author and legendary energy medicine teacher Donna Eden, and world-renowned leader in transformational education, Mindvalley. Over the years, she has appeared, her writings have appeared in Forbes, Hay House, Books, ELLE, and Harper's Bazaar, Sounds True, and much more. So first off, welcome, Shantini, welcome.
Thank you so much, Paula. I'm so excited to be here. I just appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It's an exciting day for us. Well,
It is.
I'd love to begin. And if you want to share any more of your background and maybe what prompted you to write your new released amazing book?
Oh, first of all, I am so amazed still at how the book appeared. Like what I share in the book. This book exists. I wrote about this in the book. This book exists because of the manifesting tools that are in this book. Like I use the tools, and this book, it almost feels like it appeared, it manifested itself. So what prompted me to write, to circle back to that question, to connect back to that question. So as you mentioned, I grew up and I live still in Southeast Asia, in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And I would say that I didn't come from a uber wealthy family or something. So I had more than enough as I was growing up, but there was a lot of I lost my dad when I was just 7. And my mom became a single mom overnight, and she was a teacher, an English teacher. And there were two of us, my sister and me. And think times were hard sometimes. There were financial sort of challenges, I would say, major financial challenges. And I realized that, as I was growing up, I know my mom and my sister were always there for me, but there was this feeling, Paula, at the back of my mind all the time. I felt like, there was like this uneasy feeling. I felt like I never felt, eventually I realized that it was a feeling of like not feeling safe. That was the energy of it. I never felt safe, because after I lost my dad, and he was like the moon and the stars to me, I thought of him as this invincible person. And when he disappeared, and I was a little girl at that time, and when someone just seems to just disappear from your life, it can feel really scary. So as I grew up, I had that anxiety at the back of my, I didn't have words for it at that time, but I later realized I had a lot of anxiety. And when I first, leading to my book, so this is how that happened. So when I first discovered about, like when I learned about manifesting, and with The Secret and all of that, that huge like phenomenon that took over the world, right, at one point, I was like fascinated with it. I was like, oh my gosh, you mean you can like design your destiny? You can create the life you desire? I was like, wow, this is amazing. And anyone can do it. It's available to everyone. I was super excited. And, I have a degree in physics. I worked as an engineer. So I had all of these structural ideas. Okay, how do I approach it? Step by step, all of that. And as I did it in that way of like, okay, let's get this going. I want to manifest this. That feeling, that background feeling of anxiety that I had all my life, it started to kind of like increase in a way. It didn't happen for me. So what happened was, despite all of my best efforts with visualizations and vision boards, I had mixed results with manifesting. I sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. So I started to go, I was like, okay, I need to analyze this. I need to, excuse me, I'm dealing with a bit of a cough. So sorry about that. But I started to analyze it and I realized, wait a second, it's this lack of safety. Because I was there building out my vision board, but I didn't feel comfortable and safe and inspired and energized about it. I felt like, okay, this has to happen. I'm putting it on here and this has to happen. So when I started to look into that, I realized there's something here. And I started to practice. And that's when, around that time, the one healing breath practice, which is, oh my gosh, that is my central practice. It saved my life in so many ways, Paula. I received a divine download on that. It was whispered. I was like, it was an average Wednesday afternoon. I heard the words one healing breath in my ear. I've been able to, I have a very strong intuitive sense, which I've had since I was a little girl. And I heard the voice, telling me, I heard a voice saying one healing breath, and I immediately knew what it was. So I started to practice it to create safety within myself. And then I merged it with everything that I learned about manifesting. And then magic happened.
Well,
Magic happened.
explain
And I told myself, I
to
got,
those that don't
yeah,
know what the one healing breath is.
one
Tell
healing
us
breath.
about that. And then how you merge that with your manifesting. This is exciting.
I'm so excited to talk about it. I'm so glad you find it exciting too. So it is this simple. So here's the thing as well. I tried meditation. I really tried hard. So I'll lead it back to one healing breath. So I tried all sorts of things to calm my nervous system, to feel centered, all of these beautiful practices that are out there, mindfulness, all of that. And Paula, I could not sit still for more than 5 minutes. I used to feel that anxiety climbing, like rising within me. And I was like, okay, what am I doing wrong? And it just added to it. So when one healing breath dropped in, so what it basically is it's just, you can do it as a series of breaths, but you can just do one. So all you do is you stay in the moment, you think about, okay, what is the energy? What is an uplifting, positive energy that you want to experience in the moment? So let's say it's joy. Let's say it's joy. All you need to do is think about think about the word joy, or visualize. I have little images that I share with people. They are free images. It's on my website, where you can they help you kind of focus on the energy. So let's say it's joy. My image for joy is colorful balloons floating up into the sky. So for you, individually, you could think of maybe you have a memory, a vision that enters your mind, whatever it is, just sort of focus on that for just a second or two. And then with the intention of breathing that into your body, all of your cells, you take in a breath of joy, one healing breath of joy. So you breathe in joy for 3 counts and you breathe out for 6 counts. And that's it. That's the practice. And when you do it, it's small moments many times. When you do it many times a day, you start to see that your nervous system comes, because oh my gosh, it worked like magic for me. It took time. It's called a practice for a reason. You do it many times, but because it takes just a few seconds, Paula, it fits into you can be the busiest person on the planet and it will work for you. And that created a baseline of safety and comfort and centeredness for me. So all of the tools, the magical manifesting tools that are, mainstream tools like vision boards, and also the practices that I have in this book, they started to take off. They got a life of their own and things started to happen.
Wow, I love that. I'm just imagining, thinking, of something that you want to think about and fill yourself with, like joy. and just filling your body with that. Oh my
Yes.
God. What a beginning of the day, of the moment.
Yes, yes. And each moment, I love that you said that because every moment when you really think about it can be a new beginning. Any moment that you choose can be a new beginning. And it's just gentle little steps because, in the world of manifesting, we have all of these big, bold, beautiful dreams, which I absolutely love. And we are encouraged to have these visions. However, I do want to say that sometimes it can feel like, oh my gosh, it's so big. How am I ever going to get there? And that can make it feel like it's out of reach. Whatever your dream is, your soulmate love and, your business taking off or a fabulous home by the sea or whatever it is, it can feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so far away from that. But with these little practices, and I have more in the book, it brings it forward. My book, which was like, I am a person, I don't have a huge following online or anything, to get a book deal with my publisher, Llewellyn, and they are just fabulous, and they are so established and they're so respected. To get that book deal going, it was pure manifestation. The chances of it happening logically, it's almost like zero. So yeah, it works. It really works.
Now, have you thought about writing a book for a long time, or was it something that just came to you one day? I think I'll write a book. I want to share this knowledge and my learnings.
Oh my gosh.
What triggered that?
I used to, when I had like hard times as a little girl, I used to escape into books. Heidi and Black Beauty and all of those classics, Alice in Wonderland, all of these classics, right? Nancy Drew and all of them. And I've always thought to myself, I used to think to myself, I want to write, these books help me, and they gave me this world that I could feel, I guess, safe in. And as I grew older, I found like I came across my first self-help personal development book when I was 15. And it was called Being Happy by Andrew Matthews, who's a author. And I know you have a book, Paula, that's in that space. Why am I so happy? I see it there.
Yeah.
Love that because it's simple, straight. It's a message that was straightforward and simple, and it appealed to me because it made me think. At that age, I was 15, I thought, oh, that's a choice then. I can choose to be happy. It didn't occur to me before that. So I was like, oh my gosh. And in that book, Andrew Matthews said, don't let this be your only book, right? Search for more books that can help you. And I went on a lifelong, I went on to like all of the greats, Dale Carnegie, all of that, the classics, and on and on and on. And because I've been wanting to write since I was a little girl, that just, eventually morphed into, you know what? I want to help people in this way. Maybe there's a novel in my future, but at this point I was like, no, I want to share these practices. They've changed my life. I worked with clients on these tools and it was so, so powerful. And I was like, I want to share this. So
Ah,
that's what happened. That's how it came to. I was like, I'm going to start writing. I'm going to do this.
I love it. I love it. And oh my gosh, the wonderful book that you've created. Oh my goodness. So what
Thank you.
is your personal definition of manifesting?
Oh, I love this. I would say, okay, so the overall definition is like creating what you want. Like that would be the simplest core definition. I would like, if I were to put a bit of a detail on it, like from my perspective, I would say that it is basically, bringing the intangible world of ideas and dreams and visions into the tangible material world of our reality,
Oh,
right? That is a
yeah.
basic, and I want to add an important piece through the process of change. Through the process of change. So that happens through a process of change. And that is the reason why, Paula, I want to like add here, a lot of people find that they have mixed results with manifesting, because we as humans are hardwired to step away from any kind of change. We are, from ancient times, like way back prehistoric times, anytime there was like, if some of our ancestors out in the savannah or wherever, they noticed like, oh, that bush is kind of like the leaves on that bush is like rustling, they would run away, because like, what if there was like an animal behind? What if they were to be attacked? So any little change, so that's hardwired in our brain, right? Neuroscience tells us that, like, the ancient part of our brains, we are hardwired to step away, to fear even change. And because fundamentally manifesting is change, even though we may consciously want the change, we may unconsciously resist it. And that is why the safety piece is just so, so important. Introducing safety into our energy system, our nervous system, so we can understand, yes, change is safe, manifesting is safe, and I'm ready for this. So yeah,
Oh, I love that. And I would think that understanding that change is safe and manifesting is safe, that takes a fear away and can open us up to just higher levels of bringing in that positive manifestation.
Exactly, Paula, exactly. Because we have our dreams and our visions. There is no one, I think I'm going to make a bold statement. There is no one on this planet right now. What is it? 8 billion of us. There is no one on this planet who does not have a dream within them. It may be tiny, it may be a spark, it may be hidden behind at the back of their minds, but it is there. We all want a better, and in my heart, I believe this, all of us in our hearts, we want a better experience, a bigger, a better life, a better world even. And because that those visions feel so big, as I said, so out of reach for a lot of people. And I'm sure, you might have experienced this in your life. Anytime we are, facing challenges, I've certainly have. And we all, we carry trauma and pain and all of that. And when we are in a place of not feeling uplifted and joyful and positive, all of our dreams feel unreachable. All of our dreams feel unreachable. And that is why that change, right? And wanting to go from where we are to where we want to be, oh my gosh, a lot of the time dreams can die. Our manifesting visions, we let them go because of the fact that that change, even though where we are now can feel isn't ideal, it's familiar. It's familiar. It's
Yes.
something that we know.
Yes.
And we derive that safe. It may not be ideal, but it's familiar and it's falsely safe. It feels falsely safe. And so we stay and we don't go for what we truly want. And that breaks my heart. That really does. Because I was in that place for the longest time, and I see so many people struggling with that. Because it's available. The universe is available. The energy, all of the energies of the cosmos, all of these energies are available to all of us.
Yeah.
It's about learning how to tune in and tap in and direct that energy,
I
which
love
is
it.
that's what my book is
And
about.
something I love about manifestation is, being open, things can manifest that we had not even ever imagined.
Yes.
The door that we can open.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, that is an outstanding point. And I like to say the universe always dreams a bigger dream for us than we can possibly dream for
I
ourselves.
love that. I love that.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Because even with this book, what I did was I was like, I didn't dare dream of a traditional publisher or Llewellyn. I'm way out here in Southeast Asia, and Llewellyn is of course based in the United States. And I was like, I could not go that far in my human like capacity of imagining things. I
Yes.
could not, and it happened, and it
Yes.
happened all the time,
You
right?
go, girl. I love it.
Thank
I
you, Paula.
love it.
Thank
Uh,
you so much. Oh,
and something you've said that I love, I'd love you to share. is about becoming a masterful manifester is more about who you are being versus what you are doing. Describe that a
Yes.
little more for me, please.
Oh, I'm so happy you brought that up. Oh, I'm loving all of these questions. Thank you, Paula. Okay, so what I want to say is that, yes, so that piece, it ties in with the safety piece. But another big part of it is, because originally, actually, my book is called, I have it here, my book is called Manifest Anything You Want. And, originally, the title was How to Manifest, it was too long, so it was shortened. How to Manifest Anything You Want by Being Yourself. By being yourself. So at the core of everything that's in this book, it is about discovering, or maybe rediscovering who you truly are, your authentic dreams and visions. Because a lot of the time we may stick something up on our vision board that feels like it's something we want, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's an expectation, in the culture that you live in, or your parents or your partner or whatever. It's about coming back to yourself, knowing who you are. That's what makes you a masterful. That's how you start the process of becoming a masterful manifester. And what that means is what you pointed out just before this, Paula, which is that you don't even have to have stuff on the way. I didn't have a vision board with a published book or anything, with an image of a published book or anything like that. I didn't do any of those things. What happens is when we allow ourselves to be who we are, to want what we want, and to feel safe and comfortable in that, what happens then is the universe meets us, the universe gives us what we didn't even realize that we could possibly have, beyond our imagination. And that's what it means, because masterful manifestation, to me, and I've experienced this and I've seen it happen, is being able to bring into existence what you need and desire without you even necessarily using the tools or following a specific structure.
Yes. Oh, and that is just so amazing and so wonderful. It's just something so wonderful to realize the
Right.
manifestation and abundance and things that can come into our lives that we can open up. It's a beautiful thing and everyone can do it.
Yes, yes, becoming a masterful manifester is open to anyone because it's about being you. And there's only one you in
Yeah.
all of existence, right? So, there's no competition there. You can just be
Yes.
yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have mentioned something that you call the manifesting avatar. What
Oh,
is that? We have about 5 minutes left in the show, but I would love to hear about that.
okay. I'll do a quick sum. I love talking about this. I'm glad you pointed out we have 5 minutes because I'll make it quick because otherwise I'll go on and on. Okay, so have you heard of the future self, Paula? I'm thinking most people do know what the future self is, which is a version of yourself. Like in the context of manifesting, it is the future version of yourself that already has everything that you desire now. So let's imagine you want a house by the beach, for example. I'm just picking something out of thin air. It could be anything. It could be, excuse me, having enough abundance to donate to animal charities, which is something that I love to do, without having to think about it, right? Like, yeah, I love animals. So whatever it is, right? So that this future version of yourself has all this already. However, and in the mainstream manifesting space, the future self visualizations are, they're everywhere and they're wonderful. By the way, I love them. Personally, I do. However, when I try to do these future self visualizations, like visualizing the version of me that already has what it is that I desire, when I step away from that visualization, I'm back in like reality. And I don't have that thing. And I'm like, it kind of is like a bit of a rude shock. And I'm like, drop back in. And it's like, oh, that's, you know, it's still so far away. How am I going to make this happen? And all of that anxiety again. So the manifesting avatar is the bridge between the future self and your current present self. So what the avatar is you purpose it. I teach people how to do this in the book. It's that there's some specific sort of steps that you can use, the guidelines on how to bring the traits, the skills, the behaviors, the dreams and all of that, look, this version of your future self into the present using specific practices, spiritual practices, esoteric practices and tools, which I have in the book, into the present. So what you're doing then is you're embodying this future version of you in the now. So Paula, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I am I'm working with my manifesting avatar right now because I can get super nervous in front of the camera. I'm a bit of an introvert. I think people who know me here in real life, so to speak, would consider me an introvert. And getting on camera, I think you're lovely and I'm having such a wonderful time. And at the same time, I can feel like super nervous. So I'm using the version of me. I'm bringing forward my manifesting avatar, the version of me that can have this interview with you, can have chat with you right now.
Yes.
And have a wonderful time and share about my book with the world fearlessly.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, Shantini, before we say goodbye, please share with everyone your website, how they can learn more about you.
Oh, thank you, Paula. My website is my name, so it's easy, shantinirajah.com. So you can find me there. The One Healing Breath practice, I have it on there for free. It's an 11-day journey. People can check that out. And I'm also on Instagram, and it's my name again, @Shantini Rajah. So you can find me there as well. And on Facebook, you find me again, my name, Shantini Rajah. So those are the three key places to find me. So please, if anyone wants to just like send me a DM, send me a note. I love hearing from you. Let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything you want to ask me. So yeah, please, thank you.
Thank you so much. This has been so fantastic. And thank you for all you do and writing, manifest anything you want. You are awesome.
Thank you, I love this. Thank you so much. You are
hugs and blessings, my dear. Everyone out there, love, hugs and blessings. Thank you for joining us.